Welcome back, viewers. This is Chris_Carson82 on Twitter. I'm Lobo Medina 1026 at Twitter. Today we're doing the Grant Rant. We're doing all Grant all day. We're going to be telling you about his books, telling you about why we chose him as a mentor / inspiration for the YouTube channel, going over a couple of his products. Just doing a huge shout out to Grant. If you're watching Grant, this one's for you. So yeah, why Grant Cardone? What makes him stick out in your brain?
Well, the first thing that sticks out to my mind about Grant is he's a go-getter. He runs with it. He doesn't make excuses, and he gets things done. So basically, he's somebody that you definitely want to get behind and go with, because stuff's going to work when you follow what he has to say.
Another reason why we're doing it today, we actually commented on his Instagram, and he commented back pretty quickly, I would say, to check us out on YouTube. So that was a huge plus for us.
Huge confidence booster there.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I like Grant Cardone is he doesn't really even focus on one thing or another. He has said positive things about multi-level marketing. He's said positive things about real estate, investments. But when he wrote the book, The 10X, you can apply that fundamental, that principle that he talks about in his book to any aspect of your life, whether it be your job, your family,
relationships, anything. So yeah, that's just to feed off of him there. What he's saying is he's objective and very unbiased when it comes to any of his books. It's not just small business specific. It could be, you could use his books for anything, any aspect of life.
Another reason I love reading his books, love listening to his YouTube channels, is he is all about sales. And it took reading his book twice, Sell or Be Sold, to kind of click in my brain that if I wasn't a salesman, if I wasn't able to get people to separate themselves from their wallet for a good product, that I wasn't going to make it. Because every business has to sell.
Just to summarize this book a little bit, that what he's talking about, Sell or Be Sold, Grant Cardone explains in here that you start selling at a very young age. You're a natural salesman. You just have to learn how to get better at it. Kids are natural salesmen.
Oh, they're fantastic at
They're
sales.
Relentless. Hey, Mom, I want this on the...
hey, I want a candy bar.
I want this toy. I want this Snickers bar. No, I want it. No, I want it. And they'll sit there and make a rant and make a scene.
They will tear the shelves down to get that Snickers bar.
Until the parent gives in, and then they buy it. So they're relentless, and that's what he talks about here. It's sell or be sold. If you're not selling and not finishing and closing, then you're the one being sold by somebody else. So you want to be the person that is doing the selling and not the person that's being sold.
Great book. If you're not first, you're last is the next one that we're going to talk about. This one I love personally. It's one of my favorite ones, next to the 10X rule.
It kind of feeds right off of Sell or Be Sold. If you're not selling, you're being sold. So if you're not first, you're last. It's not Ricky Bobby from the Talladega Nights. It's if you're not first in people's mind, then you might as well be the last. Like when you're selling something, whether it be like us for network marketing and our products, if somebody wants to get into small business and they're not thinking of Mark and Chris in our business, oh, they're in the small business, I can just start a business with them, then we might as well be last. So what we do is just a little bit of fundamentals. You can use social media, you can use word of mouth, anything to use YouTube channel to promote what we're doing. So when people get into things, be it small business, real estate agent, get your advertising out there.
Again, if you're not first in her mind, she's gonna go with somebody else, isn't she?
Or his, yeah. And it all has to do with a lot of it has to do with advertising, like
marketing, advertising, bursting through the noise of your competition, and that's what the 10X rule, last one that we're going to talk about. This is the best principle that I've ever learned from Grant Cardone. Is Grant Cardone does not compete, does he? He does not. He
dominates.
Hates competition, because competition for businesses, it's not being fed to you guys. It's all about dominating. Coca-Cola dominating. Pepsi dominating. Apple dominating.
People might hate Apple products and they'll just be condescending towards them because they think their product is the best. Everybody's entitled to opinion. That's fine. But what it comes down to is
when you look at the facts, they
you
are
look at the
dominating.
market shares, you look at everything. Apple is dominating the marketplace when it comes to
iPods,
tablets, everything.
Yeah.
Apple is just dominating. So the 10x rule is pretty much stating that whatever you do, go at it 10 times the effort. If you're gonna try to get this girl or guy to be your girlfriend, boyfriend,
you gotta step up your A game. You gotta
be A game. And that goes into if you're not, they all kind of tie together. If you're not first, you're last. Like if you're a car insurance salesman, what do you immediately think of when car insurance? You think of the Geico Gecko. So just getting those ringtones and those animals set in your mind when somebody says
15%, you think could
Geico.
save you more and more. Could save you 50% or more, or whatever the catchphrase is.
All these catchphrases, that's why they make those, so they're first in your mind when it comes to car insurance, and so little things you can do, whether you're looking for a better relationship, whether you're looking for a business partner, maybe to start up your own thing, is get your name out there, do what you have to do to be successful by advertising, marketing, get educated, read these books. We especially recommend these books by Grant Cardone. He's got 4 books in the series, and then just keep at it.
The last thing that I want to touch on with Grant Cardone is he will fail his entire life before lowering a target because he refuses to be average. And that, to me, when I watched his first video, when someone told me, hey, have you heard of Grant Cardone? I was like, who is Grant? So I watched his video, and he was speaking in front of a bunch of, I think it was realtors at the time, and he was talking about how he will fail his entire life before lowering a target. And I think when that message is pumped in to kids at a young age, because we're always told, hey, if you fail your target, just lower it a little bit. Just you're being unrealistic.
And you're being punished for making mistakes when making
mistakes
is how you
never lower a target.
No.
If you think you're worth $5 million, go out and be what you're worth. Go out and get the $5 million that you're worth. If you think you're worth 10, you're worth 10.
So when you think about it, let's say, okay, let's just use a $10 an hour job. I started McDonald's. I start as a fry cook, and I want to work up to cashier. So that's a very average goal, very one step. Your goal should be to be the manager of the store, the owner of your own franchise of McDonald's. Set your goals high, because if you just set your goals as low average goal you'll make that goal, but then you still won't be satisfied. I mean, it's rather
or worse, if you fail at that goal. I would rather fail at being the manager of the McDonald's and end up being the head cook than fail at being a fry cook. And
because that comes back to, if you set your goals higher, then when you fail, you're going to be already at a higher level than that average goal that you set. So it's better to shoot for a high goal and fail at it, but still be higher off than an average goal.
Be failing forward rather than failing at targets that you keep lowering just to just try and appease everybody else around you. So we both love Grant Cardone, love his videos. He's got Whatever It Takes Network. I would highly recommend you go on there. Highly recommend you get all 4 of his books. Read every book multiple times, because this isn't $35 or however much you get these books. They're not worth $35. I'm not reading this being like, oh, I hope I get my $35 value. I'm looking for $1 million in these books, and the principles. If you apply all of the principles that he teaches in all of his books, all of his videos, you can't go wrong, because it will make you separate yourself from a disease that everyone seems to be suffering from, which is this averageness. This I'm just gonna get an average life, get an average marriage, get an average job, have an average house. No, average is not. You never want to be average. Average is a disease. You have to treat it like a disease that it is.
So my biggest thing is Grant Cardone has changed
the way we view things,
the way we think, the way we view things. So that's the biggest thing that you get out of reading his books, is it changes your mindset. And that's something that out of school that I hadn't done. I read the books that were required in school, but I hated reading. I never read anything outside of school. So once I started with this business and started reading books, it just opens up a whole new avenues of what you can do. And it opened my mindset. It changed the way I thought about things. And you learn more in reading these books than you do in your entire years of school. I mean, I've learned more about financial education and marketplace and everything else by these 4 books, and then a few others that I've read. than I did all of my school years in college and in high school. So definitely recommend these books. Thanks for watching today.
Grant, if you're watching, this one's for you. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or however, and we'll definitely be reaching out to you again.
Please subscribe to us. We've got, of course, comment in this comment section what you want to see us do. We're going to be making a bunch of videos, so just if you want to see something specific, just leave a comment. Let us know what you want to see. Hit us up on Facebook and Instagram. Follow us. We'll give you a follow back. Thanks for joining. Have a good day.